checks and all. But anyway, joining us here is Albert Onyia, who is an accountant, and Bonita Mulelengi, who are part of Team Matooke. And one of the questions I always have for these people who do these ultra marathons is, are they normal? So we will be asking them how normal they are, how they practice, you know, do they have a lot of money in the bank? How do they keep normal lives and normal jobs? So welcome to the show, Albert and Bonita. Good to have you. You do look normal people to me. And you were correcting me when I said you walked 86 kilometers. You said, no, you didn't walk. You actually ran. So I'll start with you, Bonita. Well, to some of us, this is like, I don't want to say madness, but in Andrew's words, I don't know, he says you're badass runners.
Yep.
I think it is correct to say they are abnormal, because Andrew, who is normal, is yet to recover to be able to make it.
That is true.
Andrew is still recovering, 2 weeks now.
Not quite. We're very normal people. I am a lawyer, so I do have a day job. And among other things that I do, we're very normal people, like pretty much like y'all, and we are badass runners, yes. But it does take a lot of commitment to say, you know, training plan and getting yourselves ready to get to these crazy goals. But yeah, we're normal people, but like of a different kind. Different normal. So
different
there's
normal.
Different lungs, should we say?
Yes, it's
lungs as far as
yes. So we don't want to say really crazy, but it does take a certain amount of insanity to do what we do.
Indeed, insanity.
Yes.
And you talked about a training plan. Maybe the two of you can just share briefly, what does a training plan involve? We do know our colleague Andrew had to qualify in Nairobi, and that was, you know, something else. But yeah, what, you know, like on a daily, on a weekly, what does your training plan involve? Maybe even diet. Do you take some energy boosters?
So I guess
either of you can start.
Marvin can start. Yeah.
So for training, it takes a lot of discipline. First of all, you have to forgo some sleep in order to get into shape so that you can do what you want to achieve. So for especially, let's say for the Comrades, we are given a plan for 6 months to train for 6 months. So we started.
That was after qualifying or including the qualification competition?
It was after qualification was actually the last ongoing.
Yes.
It was the last
between October to
month
April.
for qualification was in May yes. 6. So basically you train from, let's say, from December up to May.
When people are still in the Christmas mood.
Yes. Yes. I remember on New Year Eve, actually end of our New Year, we ran 100 kilometers. I ran 50 kilometers. But the target was between 50 to 100. That was part of the preparation.
Yes.
I personally, I ran a total from January to May 1,800 kilometers. In total. Cumulative.
On average, how many kilometers per session?
So if you calculate, you're looking like, you're doing something like between 10 to 12,
okay.
15, let's say per day. So it doesn't mean per day you will do that, but basically you can
on average.
On average, you can do once, 30, 25, or 50, when the crazy day comes in. And then also at the same time, you have to manage your diet. Otherwise, you will end up looking skinny. And someone will think that, actually, I end up, some friends come saying, but Marvin, are you sick or what? You say, no, it doesn't look normal. But basically, it is about how you manage your diet, how you manage your sleep, but you must catch at least between 7 to 9 hours sleep.
Sleep, yes.
7 to 9 hours?
Yes.
Okay, I think another question I have before I hand over. Why? For the love of God, why? And each of you should give your
different
answers.
people have different reasons as to why they do this. For me specifically, I've always been a runner, first with track and field in school, not professionally or semi-professionally, just really school. But I was really passionate about it, and I was a sports prefect by charisma because of my love for sport. So fast forward out of school, you just continue playing the field, and it's very exciting for me to be able to run. So sometimes when I get into challenges that almost take that away from me, it's probably one of the things that scares me the most. So being able to run gives me such great joy. That's why I keep doing it. And you?
Basically, she has said it all. For me, if I need happiness, I have to put my running shoes.
Yeah.
I know some people, they get their happiness in a bar, but for me, it is the running shoes. So at the end of the day, once I am stressed at work, or if there is something wrong, or I'm not feeling well,
or a girlfriend.
Even just to celebrate. Say your birthday. It's a rule for us. If it's your birthday, you run your birth distance. So the older you get,
You run your birthday.
yes, you run your birth distance. Yes. So if you're turning 42,
Yes.
you deliver
Yeah,
42. That's how we celebrate
for
it.
the people watching us and wondering why Matthew and Bonita are in studio, just a few, two weeks ago, they were in South Africa with other colleagues competing in a competition called the Comrades Marathon, where they were running 86 kilometers. That is twice the distance of an actual marathon and a few other kilometers.
Yes.
And the person who won that race actually ran it in about 5 hours and
25 minutes.
And a few minutes.
Yes.
But for us here, together with our colleague Ismail Dakaba Chigongo, we were most interested in our colleague Andrew Mangusha.
Yes.
And he crossed the finish line after 10 hours and 58 minutes and a few seconds. That is a whole day of
Pretty
running.
much, yes.
Now, just take us through the preparations on that day, like going to bed, waking up, knowing you're probably going out there to run a race of your life and eventually conquering it.
So you already have the lock-in that Marvin mentioned, the 6 months of training, which start in January to May. Well, June.
Yes,
Maybe 3 days prior to the race day. That you're already in the zone. So in terms of what distance are you doing, what training plans are you using, because I think maybe what people need to know is you have different training plans according to your running ability. So people who finish in 5 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours are different from people who finish in 10 to 11 hours. So you're already locked in, you already have a discipline. At least for me, by 9 p.m. I'm in bed, my phone is on D&D. So the day before race day, you know you have to get your carbohydrate intake in, do your hydration, whether it's ORS or any other electrolyte drink, maybe do your stretches. And one thing maybe that really excites us is pinning our shirts. So you get your bib and you fix your you fix the bib, your shirt, you fix the bib on, and you take a picture for the glam. For the glam of it. It's glamorous for you to be able to do that. So you take a picture and you post it or you share with friends. Then for me on that day, I woke up at 2 in the morning to have breakfast. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Yes, 2 a.m. Yeah, to have breakfast, do another round of hydration, just get yourself into, this is the day I now have to go perform, and then get to the race to the starting point early. For Comrades, it's over 23,000 runners in different batches according again to your abilities. So there is A all the way to G.
Yes.
And you need to get into your pen ahead of time, and the things you need to do, drop off your bags and what. So by race day itself, I think at about 4:10 I was at the start line. The run starts at 5:30 in the morning, but I did get there to nap a bit. Many people were at the start line napping because you wake up extremely early and you traveled maybe 10 hours to get to Durban. So that's pretty much it. So then, they start the war songs, Chariots of Fire and Shosholoza, and you're like, okay, it's go time.
Well, that is wonderful, and so many Ugandans didn't know about this. And personally, I came to learn about it from Andrew, because he's been very open about it and very passionate to say. Yeah, but looking at the discipline and everything that comes with it, you must have a diet, what you eat. He was saying that at some moment they even ask you, are you sick?
Sure.
So how do you maintain your health to be able to compete at such a level? Because 86 kilometers, that's crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Like diet-wise, hydration, how many liters of water do you take a day, a night, or, you know, take us through that, please.
Okay, for that, let's say for diet, at least have meals. Okay, for at our level, we don't eat like having bulk kind of that your plate is full of food. No, for us we eat in intervals. And when you feel hungry, eat immediately, so that you don't drain or have a hydration problem. About taking water, no, we don't take water to let's say 5 liters in a day or no. But you have to stay hydrated. Make sure you have water. Even if you're in the office, you have at least a liter or 2 of bottles of water that you keep sipping. However, having diet doesn't mean you have to eat a lot of carbo, vegetables, and protein should be a friend.
Yeah.
Because the muscle loses a lot when you exercise. So you have to do that. And strength, you need to have strength training, whereby you need to go and have some kind of gym workouts. You need to have some session of CrossFit, so that you can be in shape, that you don't go for some people to doubt whether you're sick or not. Okay, to some level you have to lose that weight. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's too much discipline for somebody who's doing this just for fun. Do you at some time probably get proper professional athletes approaching you, requesting for help and all that?
Yes, we do. I remember when I was training at Chambuko Cricket Oval, some professional athletes from Kapchora. They were actually, no, actually they were admiring me. I was actually shocked. They were admiring me, that how I look so fit like that, and with good muscles, and having to run a lot of kilometers. Because when I go on that pitch, I round it until when the sun goes down. And now they actually feel that, no, they can't compete with this guy. But technically, yes, they do approach us. They do try to, but what I just tell them is that you need to manage your diet. You need to have the right sleep. You need to have your sleep. Because so that when you sleep, let's say the hour 7 to 9 hours, your muscle gets repaired properly for the next day run. So basically you are not off the ground for you to not hit that kind of sickness that someone can come up with.
Also, apart from the satisfaction that you get from doing well what you love, passion, anything you earn from that, any people out there, well, you said that the runners from Kapchora were inspired. But what do you really earn? Like something tangible apart from the medal that I'm seeing up in your necks, around your necks?
Okay, I don't run for money, basically. If I wanted to run for money, I think I wouldn't go to school up to master's level for me to be at my level.
Concentrate on your athletics.
Yes. I don't run for money. I run for health, and I run for let's say that the happiness that someone can get from run. You know, when you sweat, it's a good happiness.
Okay, but then who sponsors you? Do you have a sponsor? Are you self-sponsored? And more importantly, how much does this cost? Because if you're running, I imagine you're running in various places. We know Andrew had to go to Nairobi in order to qualify for that. So if a qualification takes you to Nairobi, and then you have to go for the actual marathon in South Africa, and you talked about accommodation and your bags and even just travel within South Africa, and I don't know where else. How much does it cost?
We are self-sponsored, but on the matter of how much it costs. We like to say that a runner's budget is classified because outside showing up at the actual event, there are things that go into that. So diet, you're probably working with a dietitian. You need shoes, and appropriate shoes to be able to, whether it's long distance, short distance, or you're racing, different types of shoes you need to recover. So physiotherapy, you're doing ice baths, that costs money. Showing up at different runs, even within Uganda itself, and traveling to qualify. So up until the day you qualify, if you sum that up, I do not want to disclose. Again, it's classified, but you can imagine just how much it costs. But this is an investment into yourself. I find that running or doing the sport that we do is possibly one of the highest forms of self-love, because the discipline you mentioned about transcends into our everyday life. So you very likely find that most athletes, most runners, at least within the Kampala running community, sometimes will go to bed early on a Friday. You will not find them out partying because they don't get dehydrated. They need to sleep so they can show up on Saturday morning for a run. And then on Sunday, sometimes you have a run. So the discipline just then starts to transcend, and you realize that you're picking up healthier habits from...
Yes, the discipline. You two are professional jobs, an accountant, a lawyer. How do you get to balance that? Your job obviously requires a commitment 100%, but then you also have this training routine that you must follow to the dot. How hard or easy has it been for you guys to balance that?
Well, I've been privileged even prior to when I was formally employed, that well, speak the truth and the truth shall set you free. So you go to your employer and you say, so there's this thing and I really want to be able to go do it. I'd like to propose, say I work on the road or give you these many hours, whether that is day hours or night hours, and whatever, we just find a flexible schedule for us to be able to deliver on each other's end of the bargain. But most importantly, this is what because outside of the lawyer and the many things that I could be, there is me, just the individual who loves to run, possibly above everything else. So I will prioritize that, but I also have to prioritize me. And that me wants to go do Comrades. I figure out how to make it work. Yeah.
Matthew?
Yeah, for work balance, actually for me, I've never missed a work that's a day because of running. For me, after my work, 5 p.m., my running shoes in the car. So I must run before I reach home.
Oh.
So that length of traffic being delaying or whatever it is, as you're in the traffic, for me, I'm doing I'm doing some kilometers. 1 hour is 10, I've done 10 or 12 kilometers. So if you do that cumulatively, every day cumulatively, you are somewhere. And then on the weekends, where you go for your long run, something above, let's say, 15, 20, or even 30, or a full marathon, depending. Yeah, but I want to thank the company where I work for, is that it's called AGL. It's where I work from. AGL helps me and to make sure that I am able to do my training and also able to go for these runs by planning my leave schedules for a year.
What were some of the inspirational stories you people encountered? I know part of Team Matooke was Robert Kamshenga, recently celebrated his 50th. 50th. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
But
we ran it, that's why we remember.
So were there people who are much older than 55? Or?
Yes.
Absolutely. 80-year-olds. I think the oldest was 82.
82, yes.
82.
Doing 86 kilometers.
86, 85.9, well, 86.
Yes.
And you know, when you are at a stretch, because this was an up run, so elevation was about above 1,700 meters. So when you're on a hill, they say to you, take it easy, take it easy, this hill is 3.5, you listen to them. Also because most of those older people who say 80, 50 above, most of them are green holders. Those are people who have done Comrades 10 times, so they have green numbers. And you'll find that their bibs will say they have 30 medals. That's maximum respect. So when he tells you, take it easy, do take it easy. They've done this thing more than 10 times. So yes, hundreds of times. So they know by heart exactly how the course goes.
Okay, for someone who is watching at home and wants to be part of this, you know, we at the start of the year, many of us have New Year's resolutions. We're going to start walking, we're going to start running. I started, and you know, I'm still going slowly. Though 86 is very, I'm looking for the word, daunting. It's very intimidating. So for someone who is watching and really wants to get into it, how can they start? How, can anyone join Team Matooke?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, you can. There's no doubt you can join, but you have to run our marathon from Kampala to Entebbe for you to join Team Matooke.
That's what qualifies you to join
Team Matooke. That's what qualifies you.
You know, someone is running and they've been dreaming from Kampala to Entebbe.
But there are, so there
You follow them up.
Yes.
there are also pictures, but there are also very many clubs within Kampala. So Team Matooke is our unifying umbrella when we travel. So I am captain of a club called Fast and Furious, and we run every Saturday at 6 a.m. starting from Kampala Club, and we'll have different distances. We even have walkers. There are people who will come and start as walkers, and then by end of month 3 they will do their first 5 kilometers. 2 weeks after that they'll do 10, and then once they cross the threshold of 15 you see them doing 21, and then after 21 it's just the desire to keep going. How high can I go? And then they end up running, you know. And so Team Matooke does give us the opportunity every second Sunday of the month to run a distance of about 28 to 36 kilometers, and you get to be able to push your distance. So if you do 28, yes, or even 36, you're like 36, then 42 is not very far, and you just keep going. So you can start with walking, but it has to be committed consistency.
Well, we walked the Legends Marathon with Mabel.
Committed consistency. So you need committed consistency. Yeah.
Just try to paint a picture for us. 86 kilometers. We at Serena Kampala Hotel. We started running from here. Where does 86 kilometers stop?
Let's say past Ginger. Ginger is 74. Okay. Yeah, so you have to add another 12 on the Ginger. So it is past Ginger.
And you have to add other hills that can span over 3.5 kilometers.
And there's somebody who did that in 5 hours.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing.
But Ginger, when you look at Ginger, Ginger doesn't have a lot of hills like what we have done. Yes, what we have done in Durban.
So what would your final words be?
Maybe they can also tell us what's next on the agendas.
Okay, next on your agenda and your final words.
Okay, on agenda next is first we have to run Ginger Relay. Which is going to be in July. We run from, it's organized by Kampala Hussars. And we have team, you might have it in the media later on, as time goes on. And then after that we go for Taskalite.
And just to mention, Ginger Relay is from Kira to Ginger.
Yes, Kira.
So it's basically
yes,
in Wakisa to Ginger, all the way to Ginger.
And then after that we will go for Kasese, Taskalite, Marathon, which is in August.
24th August.
Yes. And then Stanchart, Nairobi. October.
Very busy.
Then after that, okay, we also have other runs where some people are going to Chicago.
And Berlin
later on, and then New York City Marathon. So we have those schedules within us. But
so what if by, I don't want to say by accident, what if by luck you go to one of those established international marathons and you managed to hit the qualification time, let me say, for the next Olympics or World Championships and all that, and you're invited to go and represent Uganda, would you accept the invitation?
With great pride. If you've seen some of our videos, we always carry the national flag with us, and so there will be people towards the finish line. There's a different sense of pride when they wave that flag in your face.
I love the cheerleaders.
Just hand you that flag.
I couldn't see them, but there's that video when Robert Kaushenga is going towards the finish line. The vigor with which he grabbed the Ugandan flag.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, I've conquered this, and everyone needs to learn from Uganda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, and I'm still blown away. The distance alone, you know, is mind blowing. I'm
You
thinking,
look
what
worried,
would I?
Nebo.
Well, I hope I don't look that worried. But anyway,
And
thank
Isma
you.
is still not yet inspired.
I tempted Isma on our group, and he just went numb. Like he didn't say, but we'll get him one day. We'll definitely get him. Maybe we'll inspire him with some cricket along the way. Do 10 kilometers, play some cricket, another 10, play a bit of rugby and all. But Ginger, he travels to the east almost every other week, so he can walk to Ginger. No, he can walk to Ginger and then take the car from Ginger to Bujiri, where he ends up. But you're still watching NTV Sport Nights, and a reminder, we are powered by Predator, an energy drink that you can get for only 2,000 shillings.